Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne doing your daily horoscope for September 29th. This is for Monday, Maniacal Monday. I'm really hoping I'm not jinxing you because I haven't pulled the card yet. Let's see what we get for Monday. Let's do a little bit more here. Okay. It's not so maniacal. It's more like just you can't concentrate. This is the non-concentrating card. This is the card that is very distracted. And that, that's because, again, we are going into Mercury Madness. Rather than Monday Madness, we're going to call it Mercury Madness, where everything is kind of murky. Mercury, it's murky, it's madness, basically. The closer we get to where, Mercury is really in full-blown madness mode, and when it's retrograde, the harder it is going to feel like to feel motivated. To feel like, do we really want to get up on Monday and go to work? The answer is probably no. Okay. Do we really want to do all the things that we plan to do, during the, over the weekend for Monday? Chances are it's no. Do we really feel like driving here, there, and everywhere to do all the things that we need to do? No, we don't. So it's kind of a lower energy. It's weird because on Sunday, we got the Sunday the 28th. So today, for this one, it's the 29th. The Sunday's energy is super, super high. It's the highest that you can get. And I feel like Monday, you're going to crash a little bit. They're not crash as like literally crash. We're talking about just energetically speaking. There's like lower energy. You're not feeling it. You're just not feeling it. I always say that when I'm at work. I'm not feeling it today. That's basically how it is. I go in on Monday and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not really feeling it. And everybody else is like, you're right. It's hard when you're working someplace full time. You've been there over a year or two. Maybe you've been there for a long time. Maybe I feel like the word 15. Maybe you've been there for like 15 years, or even 10, or even over 10 years. Someplace that long of time. It's hard to feel motivated when you're doing the same thing. It just is. You don't want to sit in traffic. You don't want to even really be doing what you're doing anymore. You just feel like a lack of enthusiasm. But this girl is really reflecting. She's sitting there. She's looking at her reflection in the water. And if you see that this card has like she is like almost completely floating in the air. There is, if you imagine that this air is, it's just, there is no, if you see it the way I do. Now, if you imagine there is land here, then she's not floating. But if you see it like I do in the card, she's just floating in the air. And time is passing her by. And she is living in, well, I'm going to use the reference from Once Upon a Time from my oncers and my hookers that are following. Hookers are the people that love Captain Hook from Once Upon a Time, not the actual hookers. Okay, the oncers that love Once Upon a Time. She's literally like in Storybrooke, and it's like she's in Storybrooke or in Never Never Land or in Fairy Tale Land or even in the Enchanted Forest. She's not like, the world is elsewhere is going on and time is passing, basically. And she doesn't even realize how much time is passing. Days could be passing. This could be a collective thing where all of a sudden it has hit her that she spent a lot of time daydreaming. My feeling is that ultimately you got married on Sunday, and Monday you are like, your eyes are, you can't, maybe you went back to work, or maybe you tried to, recover, maybe you drank too much. My feeling is kind of like you drank too much. after the wedding, or you stayed up really late to the wee hours of the morning, and you're not feeling like getting up, and I don't blame you, because you had a long weekend, basically. Long weekend. But this is also like a retreat into solitude. You need alone time. You need your own space. I think of this as Pisces. Pisces and Aquarius, because Aquarius need a lot of alone time, but Pisces, I feel like for you specifically, you need just time. First of all, you need more structure in your life, so you don't miss out on anything, and so you don't let time go by, because during this time that time is going by, you're missing something, okay? You're missing out on some things. And you don't want life to just pass you by. You're here for a reason, Pisces. You need to figure out what that reason is, and you need to do something about it. You can't just dream your day away. Whatever it is that you're dreaming about, okay, whether it's a new job or, becoming a rock star or something, whatever it is that you're dreaming about, you're not taking any action to do it. You're just dreaming about it. That's all. And as much as you need time to reflect and to have this solitude. This girl could have been here 100 years. She would not know. That's the problem. Okay? That's why it's tough, because she's so lost that she's not really functioning in reality. She's functioning in her own mind and her own reality, which is completely different than everybody else's reality. Okay? This is someone who's checked out. This is someone who may be in a rehab facility, or somebody who's really not really part of the world, who's actually watching this. I don't know. Maybe a visitor came and she's showing her my videos. I don't know. It's just, if you're a guy, this is someone you know. I tend to think of this is what happens to somebody after a breakup. Okay? So it's weird because the energy on Sunday was the love energy. So I don't know why we're getting this, I'm not saying, I felt like the people that watched on Sunday for the Sunday video are the people that are getting married or in a relationship that's going to end up in marriage, in a love, and they're in love, and their love is so strong. So I don't feel like that's you. I feel like this card is for people that may have just broken up, and she is trying to take some space for herself, so that she can process and decompress everything that's just happened. And she's sad. She's just sad, and she's just feeling like she doesn't know what to do. And she's wallowing a little bit. She's wallowing in her sadness. It's okay for you to wallow for a short period of time, but just be mindful of how much time you're spending in that space and in that energy, I did that, and I'll be honest, I did this. I wallowed for several days, actually, but it was more like 2 days straight. I had just moved from, I think it was Seattle to Chicago. And then I had no other place to go. It was a really desperate time. This was just over a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. And I moved there to go stay with a friend, and I lived in a room there. And I got a job, and then something happened at the job, basically. And I basically was forced to quit, and it was just like a tragedy. It's not something that I did. It was something that somebody else did to hurt me, and it was awful. And the same day that I actually gave my notice, and I had no savings at that time because I had moved to Chicago to kind of get things back together. And my friend told me that I needed to move out on the same day that I basically quit my job. And for 2 days, I wallowed. I'll be honest. I was put out. I was in the depths of despair. I really was. it's hard when you're in that space. The problem is the longer you stay in that space, the harder it is to get out of it. And this is someone who's mildly to severely depressed. So it's just so weird because the energy on Sunday was so positive, and now it's like, it's like you're having this crash. I feel like you're really having this low moment. You had the high moment, and now you're having this low moment of this time of reflection. Maybe it was just that you were really overwhelmed on Sunday, and then Monday you need some time to process it all. It is kind of like that time, if you get married, you need to rest after something like that because it's big, it's stimulating. There's so many people, so much going on. You got the cake, you got the presents, you got the cleanup. You know what I mean? You got a lot going on, and so it can be really an intense time. And so I feel like this is just someone who needs some time off. But make sure it doesn't go beyond, say, 1 or 2 days. If you are identifying with this, you know who you are, okay? Well, you've had a little bit of mild depression, or you may have just been very living in a dreamland for a long time, then it's time for you to come out of this funk. You need to come out of the funk. You need to pull yourself together and rejoin civilization. My suggestion is actually go shopping. It's a nice little sort of, there's a lot of people, a lot of different malls, but go to the mall. Go shopping somewhere. You don't have to go into every store. You don't actually have to go into the mall part. Just to go into 1 or 2 department stores. It'll ease you back in. Even though there's a lot of people, it'll make you feel like, okay, I'm rejoining civilization, okay? And you're doing something fun if you love to shop, if you're a lady, okay? Guys, if you haven't been to a mall in 20 years, it's time for you to go. You need to re-enter civilization, and you know who you are. If you're wearing the old-fashioned jeans, because, you're wearing dad's jeans, you need to update your jeans, okay? You need to go and do some shopping, okay? You don't have to throw your old jeans out. Just hang on to them. But it's time to upgrade. This is calling you to, this is the message. This is calling you to really update things. Rejoin civilization, Figure out what's new in technology. Figure out what's happening on, this is a time where you want to watch the news. You need to watch the news. You need to know what's going on. If you haven't gone on your Twitter account for ages, you haven't even checked your email for a long time, you haven't answered your phone call, it's time to call people back. It's time to check your email. It's time to go online. Go on Twitter. Send a few tweets out there saying, hey guys, I've been in a funk. I'm sorry. I'm back. That's it. You need to feel like you're worth it. Okay? And there are people waiting for you to come back to civilization, to reality, okay? People are waiting for you. People are waiting for you to respond to them, and there are people who love you. That is why it's worth it for you, okay? So if you're thinking to yourself, there's no point. It's not worth it. It's not worth the frustration. It's not worth the headache, okay? Well, you're the person that needs to absolutely know that it is worth it, and that the reason it's worth it is because there are people who love you, and they want to talk to you, and they want to see you, and they want to be part of your life. And I feel like family, your family is waiting for you if you're having this moment, okay? And if you haven't called home for a while, maybe call home. I think it'd be good for you to call home. Talk to your parents. See what your brothers and sisters are doing. Get in touch. Get in touch with those people that are far away too. Go through your phone book. Go through your cell phone. If you have a lot of contacts in there, call every single one. Not all in the same day, but try to get through as many as possible. That should be your goal. Just be in touch. It's just the more, now this card can block you because there's a lot of negative aspects, negative sort of depression elements, negative time passing elements. You know, it's interesting because it's the retrograde, so the retrograde looks like it's going backwards, so there's this kind of weird time thing happening. Don't let it catch up. Don't let it get to you, okay? Do not let that energy pull you down. You need to do this in like the middle of October, the second week of the retrograde. Don't do this now, okay? This is not a time to do this now. I think right now is a more action time, okay? That's what this is saying. It's saying you need to actually take action, Pisces. Specifically Pisces, this is not a time to just twiddle your thumbs and stare at your own, reflection. My friend would say, examine your navel. This is not a time to do that. This is not a time to like spend 5 hours in the bathroom giving yourself a makeover. Although I'm sure you look great, it's just not one of those times. So you need to try to get things done right now because Mercury is going to be going into retrograde October 4th. And once that happens, we're getting really close. Once that happens, then things are going to slow down even more. So if you're here you're in this energy right now, your depression is going to go, you're going to take like a nosedive, okay? You're going to go into like a deep, 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 deep funk during the retrograde because the energy is even slower. I hesitate to even think how bad this was going to be for you if you don't come out of it. I'm really concerned, actually. I'm really concerned. So you need to absolutely come out of your funk. Go to the doctor. Talk to them. Natural medicine. Focus on natural medicine. If you need to do acupuncture, if you need to get a massage, anything to wake up your senses, flowers, plant in your garden, okay? It's time, sit in the sunlight in a bikini, okay? Just go to the beach, go out, go to the airport and buy a ticket stat, and just go. You need to force yourself out of this. You can do it, okay? You can do this. And for those of you who are not in a funk and you're just having like a moment, it's good to have a moment. Keep a journal. Write your thoughts down. But limit yourself to how long you're going to be in that moment. Because like I said, if you're in that moment for too long, it could be easily that you spend too much time. Here's what it is. You're spending too much time thinking about that guy. Or you're spending too much time thinking about that girl. And time is passing you by. You're wasting your time. That's it. Bingo. That's what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. And the weird thing is, let me tell you something. It's interesting because I was thinking about this. Now, Aquarius is always thinking, okay? I'm always thinking about things. And I was thinking about this today, actually. I was thinking about, people always used to say to me, you're wasting your time, Beth, by doing whatever I was doing. And I never really understood what that meant until my biological clock started to tick, and I had some issues. And I thought to myself, my gosh, had I really understood what I was really missing and understood that a real relationship was out there that was good for me, I would not have been wasting my time. But unfortunately, we all get caught up in doing things. I think for those of you who are not doing what I'm saying, you're just wasting time in general. Okay, you are wasting your time. You could be more efficient. This is a card where you need to be more efficient with your time. You need to make a goal. You need to structure your day. Morning, afternoon, and evening. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Get your meal plan set. Get your morning and afternoon, evening set. So okay, you're going to make something for breakfast. Have a good, healthy breakfast. You're going to, work in the morning. You're going to go for a run. You're going to have lunch, and then you're going to work on your stuff again. If you're unemployed, you need to really structure your day, because you're wasting your time. That's what I'm trying to say. And this whole video is actually comes to this point where you're wasting your time. You're not being efficient with your time. Whereas like other people, they're out there, pounding the pavement or calling their, networks or taking some classes, and you're just not really, you're wasting time. You could be more efficient with your time. But there are some of you who are thinking about someone, and you're wasting your time thinking about that person. It's just a waste. Because they're not thinking about you. Or even if they are thinking about you, they're not thinking about you as much as you're thinking about them, and you're spending all this time thinking about them. And that time could be used differently, okay? And life is short. It is so short. When my grandpa passed away, I really realized, this is, a couple months ago now, I really realized how short life is. And, yes, we get to reincarnate and come back as many times as we want. And technically, life is infinite. Technically, we could, be on this planet, infinite amount of times, There are souls that have that are like that'll just keep coming back. But I guess my point here is that in this lifetime, we only live, and on this planet, we only live, maybe 100 years, which is so short. There are certain planets that are like 1 billion light years away. A light year is I don't know how many years. So like compared to like the universal numbers, 100 years is a blip. That's all it is. It is so short. And I'm not saying like you can't take time to rest, because I don't feel like this is rest. This is worry. This is wasting time thinking about things that aren't productive and not being productive. Not doing the things that you need to do to be productive. Just procrastinating, putting things off. Not wanting to face the world. Not wanting to do anything. Because you're thinking about so-and-so. Call your family. Call your parents. It's time to stand up and face the world. And, it's interesting because I was talking about how in like a couple of days, for one of my earlier videos, I was saying that you need to take the mask off and you need to show the world who you really are. Yes. Yes. This is going out and showing the world who you really are, and be fearless. And I wish you all the best. And I think you can do it. If you have, like, you're clinically depressed, you need to see a doctor. And that's something that definitely needs to happen before the retrograde. So get on it, okay? We are talking Monday, okay? Monday, it's the 29th. You've got to do it. So, I wish you guys all the best. Thank you for being so great. And I will be back with more. So, big hugs, big kisses. I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great night. Okay.